Hello everyone, and welcome to Farming Simulator 22 playthrough series, or gameplay series. We're going to be starting out on the medium difficulty, the farm manager, and we're going to play the FS09 island map. And you'll have to be a little patient here because it'll take a while to load up. Because we're playing on the Xbox One. I call it the Xbox. We're playing with mods active. And it's time to wait for everything to get loaded up, which will be a good minute here. Alrighty, we're hopping into our game here. We're going to be using the case presets. I'm going to look around a little bit and see if I like something else. And I'm a bit of a case fan, so I tend to lean towards case. I'm okay with using some other equipment. Case is usually my go-to. If I can't find it, then I'll use something like John Deere or whatever else they have available in the game. We're going through some settings here. We're going to make sure that the automatic engine start is turned to off. That way it's a little bit more realistic during this particular playthrough. We are also going to be playing through as realistically as I can make it. So I won't be using the teleport function or anything like that. We are going to set the automatic save interval to off. That way we can save it and we don't have to worry about the auto save screen getting in the way every time we go into the menu. We're going to turn all of our AI worker refill stuff off. That way they're not spending money when we have supplies in the bins that we can be using. Because we're trying to make this as realistic as possible. We're going to set the seasons to 2 days per month in the seasons. And we're going to go through here and we're going to try and pick out some land that we're going to pick out some land and buy it. We're also going to check crops and crop types and where the current growth stage is at. Taking a quick look around, trying to get to know the map. I haven't really played this maps for a while, so it'll take me a little bit to get oriented. And I usually don't play on Xbox, so if things seem a little crazy, it's because I'm getting used to the controls. We are probably going to get the main farm area here. I'm assuming that's what it is, since it's... well, that's where it was in the other version that I played, the main farm, when you played it on easy mode. That's where that is. We're probably going to buy 4 and 21 for sure. 4 we're going to put into grass, and 21 we're going to harvest corn and keep putting corn back in. Now we might go for 15 and 19 as well. Just for extra fields, just in case we need to put different crops in, or money crops. Just to keep things from going bankrupt. And the plan is to not go bankrupt, if at all possible, within 2 years' time. Which I should have mentioned at the beginning of the video. For long term, we'll probably have to get 23, 22, and 20, 5 and 14 for long term later on down in the game. The big ones for a lot of corn, because 21 is enough for chaff. We can deal with that. That'll be enough for a good year. Well, when we're first starting out. Once we get more cows, we'll need more chaff, and that's where 20 comes in, because we'll have both of those in chaff. 5 and 14 would be regular corn, because we'll be able to get into the production section of things and start producing different products with the corn. So we'll need regular corn. But that's getting ahead of ourselves a little bit. We gotta get started first. looking around a little bit here, trying to familiarize myself with where everything is, because I usually don't play on Xbox that often. So eventually we'll get the animal pen put down. Although we're going to put down a gas barrel and this guy right here, the multi-fruit buying station. This is the easy way to load your seeders and planters with seed and fertilizer, and sprayers with liquid fertilizer, and stuff like that. It also still costs money, same amount like you would when you're buying it from the store. You just don't have to run all the way to the store and back to get it. It's cheating a little bit, but I don't really consider it cheating because in real life you would be able to have people come in and unload stuff into silos like this, and you would still have to pay money for it, but it'd be there and on the farm and ready to go. So I don't really consider this cheating. It's actually more realistic than you would think. We're getting this gas barrel placed down where we want it, so that we can fuel up our tractors on the farm here, because I'm not exactly sure where the gas station is on this map, so I thought I'd just put one on the farm. And then I think we're going to put the animal pen in for the cows, and then we'll put in our little trailer. Alrighty then, we're putting the trailer in first. Trying to put this trailer in an out-of-the-way location. I'm doing a little more looking around here before we get the animal pen or the cow barn. gonna get this big cow barn here. It holds 200 cows. I was looking at the wrong number. I'm like, that number wasn't right. Yep, it's 200 cows. Looking at the wrong number. We're gonna try and put this barn in a decent location. Kind of out of the way, but leave room to put more buildings somewhat nearby it, or a couple of sheds maybe. Might have to get the sheds later on, because we might not have enough money to get sheds at the current moment. We're going to put up some decorations here, try and make this place look lived in, if you will. Try and make it look nice and pretty. I usually don't do too much decoration, but once in a while I'll throw a couple of these down, just to make things look a little bit more nice. Right now I'm looking for the multi-fermenter, which ferments your chaff into silage and your grass into hay, instead of using the regular bunker silo. It's considered part of the production and production chain, but it's nice to be able to use this. It is a mod. I just have to find it. was looking for the multi-fermenter, I found the silo that I wanted to place down for all of our standard grains. So we're gonna get the silo and then continue looking for the fermenter, which I can see on screen right now, and I totally missed it. Well, that's funny. Oh well. Anyhow, we're gonna put this silo together later on at the end of the video. It's kind of cool. This is just basically the same thing as the other silo that we just put over there, just a lot bigger, takes up a lot more room. Looks exactly like the multi-fermenter. So we pop out of the menu here and run around it real quick and try and make sure it actually is the multi-fermenter, which it isn't. So we're going to go back into the menu in a little bit and get the actual multi-fermenter. Messing around a little bit here while looking for the multi-fermenter, just checking out the size of a couple of other buildings that I might be interested in putting up later on. Finally found that multi-fermenter, so we're going to try and place that where we had that silo. Since it's exactly the same size, we're going to try and get it as close to the same as possible where it was placed before. Then we're going to go up here and we're going to pop into the menu in a little bit, or right now, make sure it's the multi-fermenter. And I go through this list pretty quick, but that's the list of things that you can do with the multi-fermenter. So besides the grass and the hay, it also makes your TMR for you and other stuff like that. Right now we're going to start getting ready for the harvesting. We're going to get our harvester, try and pick one that's not super big and expensive because we're starting to run out of money to get equipment with. And we're going to pick something that's not super small either because we don't want to be in the field for like 3 videos. We just got the harvester and we're going to pick up the header that we'll be using for the grain that we need to harvest straight away, because once this one day is over, then next time we load up into the game it'll still be 1 day's worth of time for a year, or not a year, 1 day for the month, because the calendar hasn't switched over to the way I set it up earlier in the video. So we're going to look around here and we're going to try and pick the right header for the combine that we chose. We decided on our header. Now we're going to pick up a plow. And we're going to need the plow for corn because we'll have to plow that every time. We will not have to plow for the other fields that we're going to do. Now, we're going to get our trailer first. We're going to try and get an appropriate sized grain trailer for hauling grain, putting the grain into the silo there. Then we're going to get our plow. It'll probably be a minute before we get the trailer, because I'm used to the mods that I have on the PC instead of Xbox. I like my mods on the PC because they're rather different and way cooler. Well, due to the fact that the one mod that I like to use for most of my grains is a gravity wagon, especially when starting out and going through a hardcore version like this, which is what I tend to play in my solo time when I'm not recording. We're going to get our plow here, and then we're going to move on to the planter. And we're going to rent the seeder out for planting the grass, putting the grass in there in field 4, I think it was. we're going to get this big Kenzie planter, 300 horsepower, which means we're going to need a 300 plus-ish horsepower tractor to use it. So we're going to get a couple of medium tractors here. We're going to pick up this John Deere here, the 4755 that we're looking at right now. Holds a lot of horses. 890 it says. That's a lot. Anyhow, we're going to set this tractor up for the planter, and then we'll use the other tractor that we're going to get a little later on for other stuff. Or we may get one right now. Have two tractors. That way we don't have to worry about too much. I'm running through all the different tire configurations and other accessories that we can put on the tractor, because I haven't used this tractor before. At least I don't think I have. So we're going through and we're trying to pick what type of tire and what tire size we want to use. We finally decided on the type of tractor that we wanted. Yep, now we're going to pick up that other tractor that I was talking about earlier. We're going to pick up this Case International 86 series. We're going to give it as much horsepower as we can get, which is, I think, what, 170? 179. we're going to pick this tractor up, and then I think we're going to start moving equipment around. And as I said, we're doing this as realistically as possible, so we're not teleporting over to tractors. We're walking all the way over to the store. So you'll have to bear with me because I don't have any music to play during this little jaunt over to the shop. Alrighty, we're at the shop, finally. There's our combine, the header, trailer, plow, the what was it, seeder? No, it's a planter. We're gonna hook up to the grain trailer first thing, and we're gonna take that down with this International 86. Then we're probably gonna drive back too. Make it a little faster than it would have gone normally. And as you can clearly tell, I'm not used to the steering on this. And you will see it more clearly in a few minutes when we get up here by this turn in the road. Or the T section in the road here. Alrighty, we're back here at the farm, and we're probably gonna park the trailer by the multi-fermenter. That's the name. Yep, there we go. We're gonna unhook that and head back with the tractor and pick up the plow. Alright, we're back here to pick up the plow. Once we get this plow hooked up, we'll head back, and that'll be putting us close to an hour or so. We're gonna try and close it out here pretty soon. You'll also note that I'm still getting used to the controls, and I've decided here that in a little bit we're gonna take a little shortcut. Alright, we finally made it back over here to the farm. We're gonna try and put this plow in an out-of-the-way place. We're probably gonna end up using it every year because of the corn, but it'll just be for that one field. the other fields would be once every 2-3 years, I think it is. At least that's what it says in the help menu. Alright, we're gonna park the tractor here, and we're gonna take the tractor back up in the next video and grab the rest of the equipment. Was about to exit the tractor and accidentally entered the AI help menu, which is what we'll probably use to bring all the rest of the equipment down in the next video. At least I hope that works. We're gonna come over here to this grain shed and we're gonna build this grain shed. Once this shed's all built, it'll be just about time to call it to the end of the video. We're gonna save the game, of course, because we have to save the game before we close out. If we don't save, then we're stuck in between a rock and a hard place. Alright, we're saving the game, so this will be the end of the video. Hope you all enjoyed the video. Hope to see you in the next part of this series. The series is the Farming Simulator gameplay series. Well, without further ado, see y'all later.